Just doing a quick video. You can see behind me where I am, so we don't even need to talk about that. They're talking about the environment. When they asked at the debate, people weren't satisfied with my answer about how people are polluting and littering all over the place. China's one of the worst pollutants, and you have people dropping their masks from the worst pandemic of our time, as the Democrats would like for you to believe. So if we're going to approach the environment like that, we're going to pay $3.5 trillion because we're back in the Paris Accord. And I have some questions about how other countries and how much litter and things you just can't control no matter how much money you throw at it. So the environment is supposed to be in peril. It's supposed to end by 2030.
The world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change.
Don't you think the entire world would be demanding something be done immediately, like major countries, the Queen, the President of, et cetera, of, and I mean throwing money at it. So when Richard Branson or Virgin Atlantic or SpaceX, Jeff Bezos, or any of them are putting people or even satellites or anything else up into space, don't you think that they would have an invested interest in making sure that this didn't happen in 2030 like AOC was saying?
The world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change.
So she wore a dress taxed to rich to a Met Gala.
Asked, what does it mean to be two working class women showing up to the Met? And so we decided that we're going to do it. I just want to send the message. Tax the rich.
So many things. So it's a $30,000 gala. I'm not going to get into her finances, how many people went with her, and none of that's really the part of this, except for how come every event they're doing isn't directly to raise money for climate control? Why do they want our $3.5 trillion, our great-grandkids' money, et cetera, when they could be doing these $30,000 per plate dinners or other events like they did for Haiti, where they didn't build the houses that were earthquake-proof?
Okay, new evidence, I mean, as if we needed more, of the pay-to-play politics. Hillary Clinton's State Department gave favorable treatment to, quote, friends of Bill Clinton after devastating Haitian earthquake. This is according to the newly released emails that we are seeing. Donald Trump taking aim at the Democratic nominee earlier today.
As people were dying in Haiti, Clinton insiders were separating out requests from friends of Bill or William Jefferson Clinton VIPs so that their business interests or contracts would receive very special treatment.
To funnel assistance from the State Department over to these companies that were going to come in. And she says, most I could probably ID, but not all. Some cases, there was outright fraud of these people who came in through the Clintons. What is your opinion of that? And what did that do to the Haitians that were so desperately in need of help?
It has entirely crushed Haiti. In 2010, we had an earthquake that killed 315,000 people. That's really a deadly earthquake, and millions were left without shelter. President Obama named Bill Clinton as the one that should be in charge of the reconstruction of Haiti. And in that process, the Clinton Foundation, through U.S. taxpayers' money, and people giving money worldwide to the Clinton Foundation for relief effort to Haiti, contributed about $14.3 billion. We're talking about $1 billion, okay? And the Haitian people has not seen not even 2% of that money.
2%?
Nothing was done in Haiti.
Yeah.
And now 1,500, at least more people just died recently because the Clintons didn't do their job, Beyonce didn't do what they said they were going to do, et cetera, for Haiti. So why would we give you $3.5 trillion of our money to fix the environment when you could get the richest people in the world, and I mean the Oprah Winfrey's on up-type rich, to chip in an equal amount? They could do one solid for the world and save everybody, so we don't have to face 2030 like the way AOC was saying.
The world is going to end in 12 years.
There's so many things. So when she went to that gala, did everything they eat, was it all plant-based, every food item they had? Because they want us to eat plant-based food.
We fed beef lovers a Whopper with no beef.
You can't imitate beef. It just tastes better.
Turns out these beef lovers love plants too.
That's an Impossible Whopper?
I'm a damn fool.
Impossible Whopper with a patty made from plants. Only at Burger King.
They want us to eat bugs.
Of course, when you tell someone we can all just eat crickets, you'll probably hear crickets. But this could be the next big thing in culinary science. Experts say that if your toast had cricket flour, your smoothie had locust powder, your eggs had caterpillar fat, and your bacon was made of mealworms, you'd be getting more iron, protein, and vitamins than the breakfast you currently want to eat. So it's time to feast on some new info concerning crispity, crunchity crickets and mealtime.
So I want to know what was served at that event. Was it all plant-based? So instead of taxing the rich, why don't you find out how many people of the Oprah Winfrey status and up can chip in, how much it would cost each of them to save the environment, and they can say they did a solid for the world. Because when she announced the 2030 situation, it's not like Nancy Pelosi downgraded her house or living situation.
What are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate.
Really?
Chocolate candy.
Oh, wow.
And this is something you can get through the mail.
Okay.
Run out. Can I show you?
Me. Yeah, absolutely. This is the episode of Cribs I never knew I needed. Oh, my. Wow.
Other people in our family go for some other flavors, but chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here.
It's not like Barack Obama downgraded his living situation or his house.
Hey, man, it's time for Barack and Michelle's Island Adventure. Except the island is Martha's Vineyard, so not sure why we're playing reggae. Anyway, great news, because the Obamas
are officially Martha's Vineyard residents. They just bought a 6,900 square foot home for $11.75 million.
Wow.
Now, this is the same place that they rented over the summer.
Yes, it's got it all. Ocean views, pool table from the space shuttle, lover's hot tub. God, how can they afford all this?
Reparations.
Maybe, but it's more likely because they used to run the country and are rich as hell. And now they can live on the vineyard.
John Kerry still flies all around the world, so unless that plane is flying on Heinz ketchup or mustard or one of those condiments that's sold by the Heinz family, he is still polluting the environment very much to go tell you how to live.
Well, new data shows that Kerry's private jet has raked in frequent flyer miles in recent years, including a 2019 trip to Iceland. And here's the funny part. He went to Iceland to accept an award for climate leadership. When asked about the hypocrisy at the time, back in 2019, here's how Mr. Kerry responded.
It's the only choice for somebody like me. The time it takes me to get somewhere. I can't sail across the ocean. I have to fly to meet with people and get things done. But what I'm doing, almost full time, is working to win the battle of climate change.
None of them are turning off their air conditioning, any of that kind of basic stuff. So now while we have children dying in the street from the real crisis of being shot.
There were several shootings across the city of Chicago, more than 24 just since Friday night alone, and still more shootings rolling in tonight, and we're still counting up those numbers. Just since Friday, though, as we mentioned, more than 24 shootings, one in the city of Chicago's River North neighborhood. Investigators tell us it was a gun battle inside of a parking garage. Take a look at this video. Crime tape and SWAT teams lined the street after a morning gun battle in this River North neighborhood. Investigators say a group of men got into a fight around 10 o'clock this morning inside of this parking garage. That garage is attached to a luxury high-rise near Dearborn and Grand.
I heard several shots go off.
Police say someone started shooting and others fired back. At least 3 people were hurt. This car towed away from the scene riddled with bullet holes.
Downtown has changed. It's changed a lot.
Just since Friday night, more than 24 people have been shot and at least 5 people killed. One of those shootings happened in the city's Belmont-Cragen neighborhood overnight. Police say a man was spotted running down the street with a rifle. Investigators say he had gunshot wounds to his own back. He was taken into police custody. Another man was found dead nearby. On the city's south side, a large party ended with gunfire. 2 people killed, 3 others wounded at that party in Gresham.
Shootings everywhere. They want to talk to us about a company, Solyndra.
We've closed a $535 million loan guarantee for Solyndra.
In 2009, the Obama administration gave Solyndra a $535 million taxpayer-funded loan guarantee.
More than $500 million.
The White House monitored the loan closely and pressured officials to hastily finish a financial review. Solyndra was the poster child of green stimulus projects.
A loan to Solyndra.
Companies like Solyndra.
Employees at Solyndra. Solyndra.
But why Solyndra? A key Solyndra investor was also a major Obama campaign donor.
The true engine of economic growth will always be companies like Solyndra.
Solyndra officials visited the White House at least 20 times.
It's so important we invest in Solyndra. and invest in what Solyndra is doing.
And Solyndra benefited from a lower interest rate than other companies received.
It's happening right now. The future is here.
Solyndra is now bankrupt and under investigation by the FBI.
You're demonstrating that the promise of clean energy isn't just an article of faith, not anymore.
1,100 workers have been laid off.
These are the jobs of the future. These are the green jobs. These are the jobs that won't be exported.
And taxpayers could lose nearly $500 million. Solyndra, so bankrupt, so many questions for the White House.
That Byron Brown and others were involved in, going back to the Obama administration with cash for clunkers and shovel-ready jobs. They have really catchy phrases and names for all these items, but show me the proof.
The city of Buffalo is ready to harness the energy of the sun in a much, much bigger way. Solar panels could begin popping up on parking ramp rooftops and in city parks.
And as George Rickert reports, solar energy projects are being considered for 32 city-owned properties.
Buffalo will be a climate refuge city.
Mayor Byron Brown announced it during Friday's State of the City address, but it's actually been a couple years in the making. For UB, who 3 years ago helped win the Rev Campus Challenge, providing state funds to help launch a sustainability initiative that will eventually see UB, ECC, Buff State, Erie County government, and the city of Buffalo try to achieve a goal of getting 50% of their property's energy from renewable sources. That's why the city is currently taking bids on what it would cost to put solar projects on 32 City of Buffalo or Sewer Authority properties, such as the rooftops of Buffalo City Court and the parking ramp next to it, the vast field of unused space on Unity Island Park along the river, where ground-based solar panels could be installed, or further down that island where there are certain spaces next to the water treatment plant. The old pumping station in LaSalle Park is also a possible site for solar panels. The city is taking requests for proposals for the next several weeks, and depending on what the costs turn out to be, construction could begin within a year.
Our power purchase agreement will bring renewable energy, positive environmental change, and a creative approach to a sustainable future.
Let's insure it. If the rich people themselves don't want to pay for it and do the world a solid, then why don't we call Lloyd's of London and be able to get insurance on a $3.5 trillion climate deal that will not materialize in my lifetime? So Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Bernie Sanders, and others will never see this materialize. So they're trying to tell you they're doing something great for the environment while living in mansions. So now we want to talk about socialism, the climate, and AOC. I'm definitely going to do that, but I'm going to do it in a separate video. I wanted to keep this one about my thoughts on the climate and how much money they want, because we're in a climate accord, and how much of that money, like percentage-wise, so 11% helps America, or how much, what's the breakdown? They should be able to come on TV and break it down, because we know that the people that's going to pass the bill aren't the ones working on the bill. How do we know that? Well, they never seem to know what's in it. Like Nancy said,
we have to pass the bill so that you can find out.
You have to sign it, right? So pass the bill before you can see what's in it, which means when you're asking them what's in it, none of them have any idea what's on those 2,000 or 3,000 pages, or 1,500 pages, or anything. So they must not be the ones working on it. So we're also going to talk about in the near future on who's instructing Joe Biden.
They gave me a list here. The first person I was instructed to call on was Kelly O'Donnell of NBC. I'm not supposed to take any questions, but go ahead.
Mr. President, on Afghanistan.
I'm not going to answer Afghanistan now.
Can you say if they're still in...
Because if Joe Biden, the leader of the free world, the president of the United States, could be instructed and say, somebody's telling me, then couldn't all of them be instructed? This is the unbossed and unbought Jazz Miles, downtown Buffalo, and until next time.
Stand up and go vote. 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 'Cause when they take away your vote, they take away your hope. Stand up, stand up.